This video is all about line weights. Hopefully in this video you'll see just how easy line weights are to do and just what a difference they can make to the dimensionality and readability of your figures. I recorded this entire video without realizing that I had the sound turned off, so this video is going to be a bit of a throwback to how I did videos when I first started the channel. Alright, with that said, let's jump right into it. Before we start working on an entire figure, I wanted to introduce a few concepts working on very simple shapes. And so for my first sphere, I'm going to start with lighting coming just from the left and above. And line weights in this case are incredibly simple. All I need to do is on the opposing side of the sphere, facing directly away from the light, I want to go much thicker with my line. The more directly something is opposing the light, the thicker the line, and as it starts going up toward the light, the line gets thinner. And you can see very, very quickly, I end up with something that looks much more like a ball and that has a solid foundation of lighting to it, without using any shadow or rendering at all. My second sphere, I'm doing the same thing just to really drive the point home. I'm lighting it from the right-hand side, so my thicker line weight is just going to be on the left-hand side, thickest directly away from the light and then getting thinner toward the light. And you can see it's the same exact effect. Whichever angle that I choose for my lighting, all of my line weights directly oppose it. And so for my next example, I'm going to light it the same way that I did the first one, just from the top and the left. And so to start, this shape here is really directly facing the light, so I want that nice and thin, but the shape behind it is curving under, and so I'm going to go a little thicker there. And then the other side of the upper shape is facing away from the light. That's going to go thicker. As it faces down, I go a little thicker. As it starts to face up, and therefore kind of coming up a little bit more toward the light, it gets just a little bit thinner. But all in all, that whole side is away from the light, so it's quite a bit thicker. Now I've got a large curved shape that really is facing the light, but it's curving away from the light toward the bottom. So I'm going to go just a little bit thicker into that little pocket there. And now for my shape behind, I'm going to do the same thing and just go thicker away from the light and especially thicker toward the bottom where there's really no light at all. And you can see that instantly gives both shapes quite a bit of dimension, but they still don't really separate from each other. So what I'm going to do is at my connection points, I'm just going to shore things up a little bit, just with a little bit of heavier shadow. And when I do that, I'm thinking in terms of ambient occlusion. Ambient occlusion can be a little bit confusing, especially if you try to really read the official definition. But all it really means is that as things connect together, they tend to occlude more ambient light and get just a little bit darker. And that can really help us separate and delineate forms. You can even take your line weights further by actually erasing out the line entirely where it directly faces the light. For our last example, I'm going to light it just from the other way, so now it's being lit from the right and above. So I'm going to follow the same rules, and this portion here is facing downward and away from the light, so it's going to be very, very thick. The next side is facing directly away from the light, but it's facing slightly upward. It's not directly down, so it's going to be just a little bit thinner. This side here is going to be quite a bit thicker because it's directly downward, away from the light. This will be thinner because it's really facing more toward the light. I want to reserve my lightest lines for the lines that are facing the light. It's really the same exact technique, just on a hard surface. And so that's it for our basic introduction. So we're going to go ahead and move into a figure drawing. I'm going to light this one from the right and above, and that's going to give me an overall lighting from that angle. So I'm going to go ahead and start with his arm. The side's facing away from the light. As it curves under, it gets a little thicker. Under his pec, it'll be thicker. I want to make sure to shore up that connection. Under his lat, as it connects to his arm, it gets thicker, and as it curves downward, it gets thicker again, and you can see that gives me quite a bit of line character just by following that rule. I want his lower torso to be slightly in front of his lat, so I'm going to make sure to draw that line upward and shore that point up, just a little bit of ambient occlusion there. And I'm just going to go ahead and through the entire figure follow the rules that I established, making sure to shore up all my connection points. Even the ones that are facing into the light, I still want them to be very, very clear and easy to read. And now I'm just going to go through the figure, and anything that's facing downward is going to be obviously much thicker. I'm just going to drop that in quickly right now. Anytime things feel a little bit confusing, it can be really helpful to just isolate one basic rule. I find for me, moving around a figure and establishing really obvious points where I want a thicker line can start to bring the whole picture together quickly. On his right leg, I've got a long curve, so it's going to start thinner and then go thicker as it curves down away from the light. Then over his knee, as his lower leg curves away from the light, it gets thicker. I want to shore up the connection point between his boot and his leg on both sides. So it's going to be a little thicker than I might otherwise go, just to make sure that's clear. So then I'm moving through his hand. I'm using the same technique again. I'm going to add line weights to his claws on the side away from the light. Thicker on the bottom portions. and just bringing everything together slowly. I'm going to quickly establish my line weights on his head, trying very hard to avoid drawing thicker shadow. It's something that comes so naturally just to throw in a larger shadow under his chin. So I'm trying to avoid that and just stick with line weights. And you can see how much dimensionality I can add to this face, and it looks quite a bit more realistic just putting these in, even with nothing else. I've got a connection point there, so I want that a little thicker. The top of the head is rounding away from the light and then connecting. I've got a plane facing away from the light at his ear, starting to connect in his shoulders. As the shoulders turn slightly downward, even though it's facing much more toward the light, I'm giving it a bit of a line weight just so I can add some dimension there. And I also want to make sure that the deltoid pops out in front of it with a clear connection point. And just following the same rule down the arm as it goes up toward the light, it gets thinner, it gets thicker as it goes away. And that gives me quite a bit of line character just following that basic formula. It never changes. This makes it so easy to be able to give your figures a lot of dimension in life without really having to have a deep understanding of figure drawing. And it really is part of the reason why a professional comic artist's figures can have so much depth and weight to them, even at the basic drawing stage, without real lighting or rendering. A little thicker under the belt. And now I'm going to move into his torso. And for these shapes, I'm not lighting these. Even though it looks like I'm using shadow, I'm just following the same rule and going thicker as they face downward and away from the light and thinner as they go up toward the light. And it gives me an incredible amount of believable detail just following that rule. This is really how I approach lighting on figures that I don't want to go heavily shadowed with. I just stick to my line weights in a very simple way. I've got a bit of a muscle defined on his pec, and so I'm just going thicker as it goes downward and defining that extra little shape in there. And now just going into his hand and defining some smaller shapes and just getting a little bit more granular with my detail, but again, following the same rule. I want to make sure that on his leg, even though I've got a form that's coming up toward the light quite a bit, I still want to be a little bit thicker because I want to make sure to push it in front of the upper part of the leg. Defining in some muscles with just some simple line weights, and then the knee. It really doesn't need much. And that's enough for me to get my leg across just with some very simple line weights. Doing the same thing on the other leg. And with this muscle, you can see I'm essentially just drawing the same sphere that I started with. So here's my sphere, my lighting's coming from the right, and so I'm just a little thicker on that side. Again, with the knee, the same thing. And just following the same rules all the way through the figure. A little bit of line weight underneath the lines of the costume, and that's basically it. It's a very simple process, and you can see how much more dimensional and solid it looks than what I started with. And it really is just following the same rules that I showed you in the first examples with some simple shapes. This is something that should be fairly easy for you to master, and it's incredible the difference this can make to your figures. I feel like line weights are really not talked about as much as they should be. They used to be really an inking technique, but it's something that as a well-rounded artist, you really need to understand for yourself, not only to add dimension and solidity to your figures, but also to be able to separate foreground, middle ground, and background by using thicker line weights in the foreground, less thick in the middle ground, and then thin line weights in the background to give you an overall clear picture. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Be sure to tune in every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern for Monday Night Draw with Meredith and Dave, and I will see you in the next video.